What's up YouTube, it's the Gizmo Pro here. Welcome back. It's that time of year again. Apple has officially unveiled the new iPhone 16 Pro Max, set to compete with Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra. And let's just say the bar has been raised very slightly. Some surprise moves by Apple could change the landscape of the Apple versus Samsung battle. How does it compare to Samsung's Galaxy S24 Ultra? Well, let's dive right into it. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click the bell notification icon to get all my latest videos. It's yet another incremental update this year, unfortunately. Apple's challenge is actually convincing people to buy it. The iPhone 16 looks a lot like the 15, but with new colors like ultramarine, a slick indigo, teal, pink, black, and white. The camera lenses are now lined up horizontally, much like the iPhone X days, which allows for spatial video capture. Aside from that, everything else, the rounded corners, size, speakers, all feels the same. Now, I'm not rushing to buy the newest iPhone. I won't be buying the iPhone 16 at all, actually. And there are several reasons why you might want to wait too. The main reason will be revealed at the end of the video. We'll explore the practical reasons for holding off on buying the iPhone 16 or 16 Pro or 16 Pro Max, and also touch on my personal situation as a tech reviewer who's been purchasing the latest Samsung models since 2012. First off, let's talk pricing. Surprisingly, Apple didn't increase the price this year, which gives them a slight advantage over Samsung. The iPhone 16 Pro starts at $1,100 and the Pro Max at $1,200, making it $100 cheaper than the Galaxy S24 Ultra, which starts at $1,300. What's even more notable is that Apple is now offering its best camera setup, including the 5x telephoto zoom, on the standard iPhone 16 Pro for just $1,000. In contrast, Samsung reserves its best cameras for the S24 Ultra only, and this strategy could be a challenge for them. Additionally, Apple has lowered pricing in India, heating up the competition even more. Both the iPhone 16 Pro Max and Galaxy S24 Ultra come in 256GB, 512GB, and 1TB storage options. Now let's talk design. For the past few years, both Samsung and Apple have maintained consistent design languages for their flagship phones. Both are highly recognizable and you can't go wrong in terms of premium feel. However, there are some noticeable real-life differences. As someone who has used both the S24 Ultra and last year's iPhone 15 Pro Max, I can tell you that while Samsung's super boxy design feels premium, it's not as comfortable as the iPhone 16 Pro Max's more rounded, thinner, and lighter form. The upcoming Galaxy S25 Ultra could change that, however, with their new design. Surprisingly, the iPhone 16 has two new buttons. First, the action button from last year's Pro makes its way to the standard models, letting you set shortcuts for things like flashlights or Siri shortcuts. The second is a new camera control button. It's a pressure-sensitive area on the corner of the phone that feels like a camera shutter button. You can press it to open the camera app, take a photo, or long press for video. It's also gesture-sensitive, allowing you to swipe for camera settings. Third-party apps like Instagram and Snapchat can integrate this functionality too. It's cool, but I'm curious to see how often people will actually use it. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes in desert, natural, white, and black titanium, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra is available in black, yellow, violet, and titanium gray. Samsung also offers exclusive green, blue, and orange color options through its website. In terms of display, Samsung still has the edge with its 2600 nit brightness compared to the iPhone 16 Pro Max's 2000 nit screen. The iPhone 16 Pro Max sports a 6.9-inch OLED display with a resolution of 2868 by 1320 pixels, 460 ppi. The Galaxy S24 Ultra, with a slightly smaller 6.8-inch AMOLED display, boasts a higher resolution of 3120 by 1440 pixels and 501 ppi. Both phones support a 1 to 120 Hz variable refresh rate. The iPhone's dynamic island remains, bringing some cool UI features, though Samsung's punch hole design feels and looks cleaner. Dynamic island is visually larger but provides useful Face ID functionality, while Samsung offers a more discreet look with the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. In the display department overall, the S24 Ultra takes a clear lead. This isn't just about brightness or image quality, both phones excel there, and most users won't notice a huge difference. What really stands out though are the reflections. The S24 Ultra's Gorilla Glass armor reduces reflections significantly, which makes a big difference outdoors. Meanwhile, the iPhone 16 Pro Max lacks this feature, and trust me, you'll notice it. For instance, when I'm having coffee outside in the morning, the difference is obvious. The S24 Ultra's display not only looks clearer, but the colors pop more without the glare. Plus, it's more scratch resistant. After 14 years of using smartphones, the S24 Ultra is the only one that hasn't picked up a single scratch. So, in terms of durability and display, the S24 Ultra wins hands down. The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus keep the same display sizes as last year, 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches respectively. Both models use OLED technology, achieving a peak brightness of 2000 nits outdoors and as low as 1 nit in dark environments. Unfortunately, they still stick to a 60 Hz refresh rate, lacking the Pro Motion display many were hoping for. Seriously though, Apple? Under the hood, Apple has introduced the A18 Pro chip, which is about 20% more powerful than last year's model in both GPU and CPU performance, with 2 times faster ray tracing and a faster neural engine. There's also 8 GB of RAM. Apple briefly mentioned larger batteries, which hopefully means better battery life, but no specific numbers were mentioned. On Apple's website, the 16 is listed with 22 hours of video playback compared to the 15's 20 hours. Meanwhile, the S24 Ultra comes with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, which remains incredibly powerful. While Apple may lead in CPU power, GPU performance is more comparable between the two, with the S24 Ultra definitely taking the lead. One difference, however, is Apple's strong support for AAA game titles like Resident Evil 4 and Assassin's Creed Mirage, which Samsung still lacks. Wi-Fi 7 is standard across all models, future-proofing connectivity. The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus feature USB 2, offering 480 megabits per second transfer speeds, while the Pro models come with USB 3, supporting up to 10 gigabits per second, beneficial for high-speed transfers. Apple guarantees 5 years of security updates, while Samsung promises 7 years of major OS and security updates for the S24 Ultra. Surprisingly, Apple has made a bold move by upgrading the ultra-wide-angle camera first before Samsung. The iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max now feature a 48-megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens, boasting twice the low-light performance of last year's models. This gives Apple the slight upper hand in ultra-wide-angle shots compared to the S24 Ultra. The main sensor remains the same 48 megapixels, but with ISP upgrades. Apple's default 24-megapixel shots capture more detail than Samsung's default 12-megapixel photos. While both phones feature 5x telephoto zoom, Samsung still offers the extra 3x zoom for added versatility. The iPhone 16 Pro Max comes with a 3-camera setup, a 48-megapixel camera, a 48-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 12-megapixel telephoto lens with 5x optical zoom. The Galaxy S24 steps it up with a 4-camera system, a 200-megapixel wide camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom, and a 50-megapixel telephoto with 5x optical zoom. Both phones offer 12-megapixel front-facing cameras, but the iPhone's front camera has a slightly larger aperture at 1.9 compared to the S24 Ultra's 2.2. The iPhone 16 Pro Max can record in 4K at up to 120 frames per second and capture spatial videos for Apple's Vision Pro. Meanwhile, the S24 Ultra offers 8K video recording at 30 frames per second. Both phones have a unique camera capability, so stay tuned for our detailed camera tests. Apple now offers its full Pro Max camera setup on the standard iPhone 16 Pro for $1,000, as I stated before, meaning you don't need to splurge on the larger Pro Max for top-tier cameras, something Samsung doesn't offer with the S24 Ultra. But when it comes to video, the iPhone 16 Pro series takes the lead once again. Apple now supports 4K 120 frames per second recording with HDR, ProRes, and log recording options, ideal for pro users. While the S24 Ultra also supports 4K 120 frames per second, it doesn't offer Dolby Vision HDR or log video capabilities. Samsung's 8K 30 frames per second recording is still impressive, but Apple's 4K 120 frames per second offers more versatility for professionals. Audio improvements include 4 studio quality microphones, spatial audio capture, and a new audio mix feature using machine learning to separate voices. This could be interesting compared to Google's Magic Audio Eraser. Now for software. It's no longer just iOS versus Android. It's Apple Intelligence versus Samsung's Galaxy AI. Both offer impressive AI features like enhanced email writing and object removal from images. Apple has a new, smaller Siri with improved understanding, while Samsung's advantage is Google Gemini AI, which is powerful, and as powerful, if not more so, than Apple's system. However, Apple's AI features are not yet available globally, particularly in Europe, where Samsung's Galaxy AI is accessible worldwide. Apple has increased the battery size of the iPhone 16 Pro Max to 4600 mAh, while Samsung still leads with 5000 mAh in the S24 Ultra. The S24 Ultra has one of the best battery lives on any phone, but with Apple's new 3nm A18 Pro chip and its efficiency gains, the iPhone 16 Pro Max may compete closely, if not surpass, Samsung's battery performance. When it comes to charging speeds, the iPhone 16 Pro Max now supports up to 45-watt fast charging, though real-world speeds are closer to 39 watts. It's a notable improvement from the previous iPhone's 27 to 29-watt range. The S24 Ultra also supports 45-watt charging, so neither phone holds a significant advantage here, unfortunately. In 2024, it seems like Apple is offering more value at a lower price. The iPhone 16 Pro provides Apple's best camera system for just $1,000, which is a significant advantage over Samsung, which keeps its best cameras exclusive to the S24 Ultra. While the iPhone 16 looks promising overall, there's one significant aspect that just doesn't sit right with me. Every time Apple launches a new iPhone, they introduce one standout feature as the defining upgrade of that generation. For the iPhone 16, it's clearly Apple Intelligence, a suite of AI-driven features that includes advanced writing tools, the ability to generate original images, and a smarter version of Siri. It all sounded great until I rewatched the iPhone 16 event, and my perspective started to shift quickly. None of these key features are actually ready for launch. The flagship feature of the iPhone 16 won't be available when you first buy it, something that's never happened with an iPhone before. And while it may seem minor, since they're coming soon, the situation is more complicated than Apple has let on. Apple's strength has always been its ability to deliver on promises quickly. Their formula is simple. Announce a new iPhone, hype up one major feature, and then release the phone a week later with that feature ready to go. This strategy has worked for over a decade, but with the iPhone 16, Apple can't follow through. On day one, a big part of what you're paying for won't be available. Sure, you'll get some upgrades like the new camera control button and the better battery, but the most exciting feature, Apple Intelligence, isn't going to be there when you hold the phone in your hand. This is bound to cause frustration since you'll be paying for something you'll have to wait to use. Apple says not to worry, though, because Apple Intelligence is scheduled to roll out in October. Then you'll be able to use features like Gen emoji, smarter Siri controls, and ChatGPT integration at the system level, or so they say. However, when Apple Intelligence launches, only a few features will actually be included. Confirmed for October are things like new writing tools, smart notifications, AI-powered photo cleanup, and a redesigned Siri interface with a colorful new look. But here's the catch. This new version of Siri is mostly cosmetic. The smarter Siri, the one that can handle app actions, understand personal context, and answer more complex questions, that's not coming until 2025. Pretty clever how Apple is rolling out the aesthetic upgrades first before the more functional features are even ready. According to reports, the big updates like ChatGPT integration and Gen emoji aren't expected until December at the earliest. And this isn't just speculation. Apple has confirmed the features coming in October, and none of the major ones are on the list. So instead of a fully realized iPhone 16, we're getting a preview of something that might arrive in full next year. Now, you might be thinking I'm overreacting. After all, Apple is giving us some AI features in October, and waiting a month isn't the end of the world. But Apple is acting like this rollout is as simple as a standard software update, and it's not. Apple Intelligence isn't just another feature that can be delivered overnight, like portrait mode on the iPhone 7. There's a lot more involved, especially with language processing. Apple has to optimize these features for different languages and regions. At launch, Apple Intelligence will only support US English. If your iPhone isn't set to US English, you won't have access to these features in October. More languages will be added in 2024, but even then, it's only a handful: Chinese, French, Japanese, and Spanish. If you live in the EU or mainland China, though, Apple Intelligence just won't be available to you at all. This is huge. Apple is essentially making its flagship feature unavailable to billions of potential users. When has Apple ever done something like this? This is a big deal. I'm not sure how it will play out long term, but this feels significant. It's not like Apple hasn't faced this situation before. Back in 2011 with the iPhone 4S, they delayed the launch until Siri was ready. So why didn't they do the same with the iPhone 16? The answer seems simple. They needed to assure investors that they had a new iPhone ready, and they didn't want to appear behind in the AI race. To manage this, Apple is fragmenting the release of Apple Intelligence, spreading it out over the next year. But as 2025 approaches, we might still be waiting for some of the features Apple showed off in mid-2024. By then, it could feel like we're getting iPhone 17 features on an iPhone 16, which isn't a great look. How do you feel about this? Are you buying the iPhone 16 for Apple Intelligence, or is there another reason? Or are you skipping this year entirely because without AI, the story just isn't that compelling? If you already own a recent iPhone, upgrading to the iPhone 16 or 16 Pro might not be necessary. These phones bring minor upgrades over the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro, which were themselves incremental improvements over the 14 series. If you have an iPhone 14 or 14 Pro, I'd strongly recommend waiting for the iPhone 17 lineup, rumored to offer more significant upgrades. Even for iPhone 13 or 13 Pro users, waiting another year may be wise. However, if you have an older model such as the iPhone 12 or 12 Pro, upgrading to the 16 or 16 Pro could make a noticeable difference, especially in areas like battery life, camera quality, and overall performance. The iPhone 16, however, still features a 60 Hz refresh rate, which is a notable downside in 2024 considering many smartphones in its range offer higher refresh rates. So what's the main reason I'm not looking in the direction of the iPhone? Simple. Firstly, Apple has not brought anything truly innovative or new in several years. I see nothing groundbreaking or new here with the iPhone 16 lineup over the iPhone 15 or 14. Secondly, well, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, of course. Stay tuned for my upcoming video on the S25 Ultra, as I have some exciting news. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this comparison helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, thanks for continuing to support my channel, and stay tuned for more in-depth hands-on comparisons. See you next time. Peace.